This week I decided to reread Trading in the Zone for the third time. And I've noticed every time you reread one of your favorite books or rewatch one of your favorite shows, you always pick up different lessons that you didn't necessarily pick up the first time. And this was definitely the case for this book. And I remember Alex Hormozi once saying, he would rather read one good book 5 times than read 5 mediocre books one time. And I kind of related to that sentiment this weekend because I have reread this book and have came up against some insights that I didn't previously noticed the first time with some of the hardships I went through this week. So I just want to go ahead and share those lessons to you. There's 3 main lessons I've learned. Let's go ahead and dive into the first one. First lesson I've learned easily was embracing uncertainty. It's something that I've kind of been struggling with for the last couple of days. And while reading this book again, Mark Douglas just kind of talks about and teaches me every nature in the market is pretty much uncertain, from the outcome of the trades all the way up to what your overall result's going to be. And it's a losing game trying to predict uncertainty, and it's rather than just accepting it. See, a lot of traders take the route of just trying to learn more about the markets, thinking that gives them a better edge of predicting it better. And I was definitely one of them. And I would get frustrated every time that I spent months on end learning just to come back to the markets and have the exact same results. And then it was just eye-opening to read, you can't predict the uncertain nature of the market. The best you can do is just accept it. It gives you a lot more emotional ease, and as well as it's a core belief that a lot of the best traders attain to. See, a lot of us really like certainty. It's secure, it's comfort, it's knowing what's going to happen next. And once you know that, you can let your mind rest at ease. The problem is the market is the exact opposite. It's completely uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen next, and we perceive that as a threat. So in order to succeed in the market, we have to learn how to accept uncertainty. When reading that book, the definition of accepting uncertainty just simply meant to me accepting the risk that's associated with every trade and just being okay, not being emotionally distressed when a trade doesn't go to your expectations. My definition while I was reading the book that I came with is just simply that accepting uncertainty just means accepting that the market is completely unpredictable and being okay with the fact that you don't need to predict what's going to happen next in order to make money or in order to be right. I've learned that in the trade, it's crucial that you believe that literally anything can happen. And instead of focusing on the trade outcome, fixate your focus on the one thing you can control, which is your rules. And that leads me to my second lesson. The second lesson is taking responsibility for your actions and rules. See, I noticed that it is crucial as a person and as a trader to take responsibility for all your actions, even when you're not at fault. Because if you don't take responsibility for your actions, nothing will change. Because you believe that you're not in the wrong, you believe that your actions wasn't in the wrong, and you believe that your actions couldn't produce a different outcome. Once you take responsibility, it's opening yourself up to seeing how did your actions affected this certain outcome. So for example, in trading, a lot of traders tend to blame the market when it just doesn't go their way. And we have to realize that there's no rules in trading at all. There's none. It's absolute freedom. If you don't set rules, nobody's going to force you to set rules, and nobody's even going to force you to abide by the rules you set. You are, if you look at it, you are the principal of that school. You set the rules, and you also have to stick to the rules too. Because if you don't stick to the rules, the market isn't going to follow it. Taking responsibility gives you control of your actions. The third lesson was about mental analysis. And the beginning of the book, Mark Douglas talks about what separates the rest of the traders from the best traders. He states that it's not technical, nor is it fundamental analysis. It is all about the mental analysis. See, what mental analysis is just how you perceive things. What are your beliefs on certain situations and aspects? And what is your attitude/mindset to certain ideas? And Mark Douglas clearly states that the profitable and professional traders have a completely different mental analysis from the rest of the people, and that's what separates them from the bunch. He goes on to say this quote that I really enjoy, and he says, "The answer to all your problems is not in the market, it's in your mind." So further down the line, further down the book, he talks more about this, but then he gets to around chapter 7, chapter 8, where he talks about the core 5 beliefs that make up the structural framework to a successful mental analysis. The first core belief that builds this mental structure is anything can happen. It is simply embracing the uncertain nature of the market to the fullest and accepting the outcomes no matter what, not letting any emotional distress. Second belief is that you don't need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money. Third belief he talks about is that there's a random distribution between wins and losses. The fourth one is just that the edge is nothing but a tool that allows you, or that gives you, a higher probability chance of one thing happening over the next. And then the fifth one is just that every moment in the market is unique. What this basically means is, what I understood of it is just that stop associating past results to future outcomes and just truly understand that every outcome of every trade is independent of its own, and every single one of them is based off of random outcome. And those were the key lessons that I've learned from rereading Trading in the Zone again. If you have read the book and you have any key lessons that you would like to drop, feel free to drop it in the comment sections below. And until next time.